Look, we've all seen our fair share of fake accounts and bots online for years, right? But what's happening now is on a whole different level. A new wave of AI is getting so incredibly good, it's threatening to create an entire internet of fakes, a place where telling who or what is real becomes almost impossible. So, how did we get to this point? And is there a way to fix it without completely breaking the internet?
So let's just start with a simple question. When you're scrolling through your feed, how do you actually decide if an account is real? Is it the profile picture, the way they write their comments? For years, we've all relied on this kind of gut feeling, right? Our intuition. But here's the thing. That intuition is exactly what this new AI is becoming terrifyingly good at faking. And that's the heart of the problem we're about to get into.
And that brings us to the first of two massive threats. It's a big word, but a simple and kind of scary idea: indistinguishability. It just means that AI is getting so good at mimicking human behavior, from writing posts to creating fake profile pictures, that our own brains can no longer tell the difference between a real person and a machine.
But here's the real kicker. It's not just that these AI fakes are convincing, it's that they are unbelievably cheap and easy to make at scale. We're not talking about one fake account. Malicious actors could unleash millions of them. So you've got this perfect storm of near-perfect fakes that you can create in enormous numbers. That's a whole new kind of threat to online trust. So yeah, let's dive a little deeper into how these twin threats, this indistinguishability and this massive scalability, work together to potentially unravel the very fabric of the internet as we know it. I mean, when you really look at what AI can do now, the mimicry is just staggering. It's not just spitting out text, it's generating nuanced opinions. It's not just a cartoon profile pic, it's a completely photorealistic person who doesn't even exist. And it can even take actions, like solving those annoying "I'm not a robot" puzzles or browsing a website just like you or I would. It's basically the whole shebang, a complete digital person in a box. So you might be thinking, wait, don't we already have tools to fight bots? And yeah, we do. But the old toolkit is really starting to fall apart. Those CAPTCHA puzzles? AI can solve them now. Putting up paywalls? Well, that just excludes tons of real people who can't afford them. AI content detectors can be tricked. And asking for a real ID with a selfie? First, that's a huge privacy nightmare. And second, even that can be faked with deepfake tech. So it's pretty clear we need a totally new approach. Okay, so if the old tools are broken, what's the alternative? Well, to deal with this brand new problem, researchers are floating a new kind of tool, something they call the Personhood Credential. So what the heck is that? Well, a Personhood Credential, or PHC, is basically a digital certificate that does one very simple, very powerful thing. It proves you're a real human being. And here's the critical part. It does this without revealing your name, your age, where you live, nothing. It's proof of personhood, not proof of identity. That's a huge difference. Now, for this whole thing to work, the system has to pull off this amazing balancing act between two ideas that sound like they completely contradict each other. First, a trusted issuer can only give one credential to each real person. That right there tackles the whole scalability problem. But second, the way you use that credential has to be completely private and anonymous. It can't be tracked or linked between different websites. And that's the really elegant part of this solution. You can stop the flood of fakes while still protecting everyone's privacy. The process itself is actually pretty straightforward. First, you enroll just one time with some trusted institution to prove you're a real person. Then, whenever a website asks for proof, you use a clever bit of tech called a zero-knowledge proof. The best way to think about it is, it's like proving you're old enough to get into a bar without actually showing the bouncer your driver's license. They don't see your name or your address, they just get a, yes, this person is over 21. Same idea here. Okay, so let's just imagine for a second that this system actually exists. What would really change for us? What are the actual real-world benefits of being able to prove we're human online so easily? Well, the first huge win is that we could finally deal with sock puppets. That's a term for all those fake accounts a single person creates to manipulate conversations or run scams. If every verified human account requires a unique personhood credential, it suddenly becomes super difficult and expensive to create a whole army of fake profiles to push some agenda. This also makes it way easier to handle coordinated bot attacks. Right now, if a malicious account gets banned, what happens? The person behind it just makes a new one in 5 minutes. With a personhood credential, if a platform bans you for breaking the rules, they can block that specific credential. You can't just keep coming back with a new account. It actually raises the stakes for bad behavior.
And if we look a little further down the road, think about those personal AI assistants that are going to be managing our digital lives. Well, PHCs could be a crucial layer of accountability. They could be used to verify that an AI agent is acting on behalf of a single, real human, which would help us tell the difference between our helpful assistants and a swarm of malicious, ownerless bots. Now, as promising as all of this sounds, personhood credentials are not a magic bullet. Not at all. Actually, putting this kind of technology into practice means we have to navigate some very, very serious challenges. And there are 4 really big ones to think about. First, we have to make sure everyone can get one, so we don't create a digital divide. Second, we have to protect free speech and true anonymity. Third, there have to be serious checks on the power of the institutions who issue these credentials. And finally, the system itself has to be incredibly robust and secure. You can see how getting any one of these wrong could cause way more problems than it solves. So, what's the path forward? Well, it really starts with a few key steps. We need to start piloting these systems now, maybe by building on technology that already exists, like digital driver's licenses. We also have to completely rethink our old standards for verifying identity online, because AI can pretty much fool all of them. And finally, we need to start talking, right now, about setting some ground rules for how these autonomous AI agents should behave online. And all of this leaves us with one final, absolutely crucial question. The entire challenge and the promise of this new era really boils down to this. Can we find a way to prove we're human online without being forced to give up our privacy and prove exactly who we are? Personhood Credentials suggest that the answer, just maybe, is yes.
Subscribe and visit trueintel.ai for more insights.